Hi, welcome to my channel, Bring Peace into Your Life. So I was talking to someone the other day and they were talking about whether women can have it all. And I think that sounds, to me, it sounds quite an old fashioned question, but I think it's a good question to ask. So I think women can have it all. That's what I would say right away. I think you can, but it takes work. It takes valuing your time and valuing yourself. And it also takes working on your self esteem and your resilience to be able to deal with and cope with things that life throw at you. So, being a woman can be difficult in certain settings in life, and I think quite often people think that that's an old-fashioned view and that things are equal nowadays. And I think sometimes we can be equal, but sometimes we're not. And I think we're not seen as being equal in certain walks of life. Now, I'm a mum, so as a woman who's a mum and who works, that can be quite difficult because I think people see you and think that you have to do everything at home as well. So there's a big responsibility on women in the household when they work, not just to take care of the children, not just to take care of all the appointments people have, keeping track of everything. And there's a lot of mental load there and mental baggage that we have that we hold constantly. And I think some people just don't really recognise that, they don't understand that. And I think sometimes our partners may not understand that either. If they work, they maybe go to work and then they come home and they have certain things they do in the house, and that's fine. But I think as with a mental load of a woman and being a mother and a working mother, it is a lot. So quite often I will go into the kitchen to make a cup of tea and I realise that there's some washing on the floor, it hasn't been put in the washing machine, so I'll put that in. And then maybe something catches my eye and I think, oh, I need to put that away. So then I do that. And then sometimes all of a sudden, half an hour later, I go into the living room and realise I've not made my cup of tea. So there's so many things to juggle. So appointments, so either I've got the dentist, the boys have got the dentist, we've got a play date coming up, I'm meeting friends with the kids so that we can go and have a catch up. And then there's school pickups, there's school, there's juggling everything. And that can be a really difficult mental load. And I think women can have it all, but I think it takes a lot of work on balance and resilience and self-care to make sure you are functioning in the best way you can to juggle all of that. Now, I don't have a problem juggling all of that in the sense of I don't mind doing all those things, making appointments, dealing with things for school, dealing with food shop, things like that, um, cooking most of the week. My partner only has 1 day off a week, so he works 6 days a week. So I do a lot of that load, but on his day off, he picks up the kids, he makes a massive pot of dinner so that I can do for a couple of days. He sweeps up the living room, takes all the rubbish out, does the dishes. So do you know that way he does do his fair share? But I'm the one that works 3 days a week, 4 days a week, sorry. So I have 3 days off that I can do the other stuff in. And then there's obviously the kids' activities and there's lots of stuff. So it is a lot and we can have it all, but it's about balance. So I make sure that I'm taking care of myself as much as I can. Every couple of months I see friends. I've got friends with kids, so we meet up with the kids. And it's about making sure you're having fun in life. We work hard and then we have time that can be limited, but it's about making sure we're having fun, we're enjoying our life as we go on. We can't just keep work and then all of a sudden you retire and say, oh, this is when I'm going to make memories. My children are young, I need to make memories with them now, and it's important to really be with them as much as I can be and to encourage them to enjoy life. And so I think women definitely can have it all. We can have a career, we can have our self-care, we can have our children, we can take care of our children, and we can also make sure our children are having a great life where they do activities and they enjoy themselves, they do sports. But it is full on and it does take a lot of juggling. So yeah, it's about balance. And I think when you build up your resilience and build up your self-esteem and your self-worth and your confidence in yourself and your abilities, it's easier because you know, right, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm capable of, and this is how I function. And it's about making sure that if you need some downtime or you need a wee bit of a break, you look at that, you get support if you have it. Luckily I have a mum who's very, very supportive and great to step in if needed. But we can only do so much, and we only have a finite amount of energy. And I think we forget that. I think when I look at my kids, they have an infinite amount of energy. They run about like crazy. They never really get tired. They're just on the go all the time. And sometimes I wish I had that energy, but actually I don't. So what I do is I do as much as I can with the energy I have, and then I top up. I do some self-care. I work on myself. I try my best to have a healthy diet. I walk 10,000 steps a day as much as I possibly can, and I make sure that I am nurturing myself through learning about myself, through mindfulness and meditation, and just making sure I am as balanced as possible. And I think that's how we have it all. If we juggle everything, but we get a balance and we work on our resilience and our strength. And I think that's really important. It's also really important to ask for help. So if you are struggling juggling everything, look at, do we need to do all of this? Can something drop, or can we take something out of the schedule? Scheduling stuff is great, and kids love activities, sports. So obviously you have to schedule these at certain times, and usually we try and keep ours to the weekend because evenings are difficult. There's homework, there's trying to get ready for the next day, there's dinners, there's showers, all of that kind of stuff. And there's also mentally preparing for the next day of work as well. So we try and keep our stuff at the weekend. But if there is activities and it's too much, you need to think, right, can I drop this week? Can I take a step back? Or if you can't take a step back and you're maybe paying for a block subscription of something, you need to think, right, what can I do to eke out some time for myself? So that for me tends to be in the evening. So once the kids we've had dinner, they've had their showers, we're all in our pyjamas, that's when I have a wee bit of time for myself and they have some time. So I'm going to say I let them go on their phones or their iPads, and I let them have some screen time. And to be honest, I think a lot of people feel mummy guilt for that. To be honest, I don't, because they're not on their screens all day. They're sporty, they're active, they play football, they do speed skating, they run about in the park when we go for play dates and stuff like that, and meeting their friends. So for me, I don't mind actually allowing them some screen time, and also allowing myself some screen time. So I take my chance to maybe watch a programme I want to watch, maybe get out of the headspace of work, because I'm a counsellor, so my job is heavy. I love my job, and I have supervision, and I have colleagues that I can talk to about difficult calls and difficult clients. But it is a heavy job, and it's about looking at what do I do to take care of myself within my job, my self-care, and building up my resilience, as I said, and also looking at taking care of myself. So if I have a difficult call or have a really particularly heavy day, then I'll watch something silly on Netflix, or I'll maybe watch a film with the boys if they're up for it. And I'll make sure that I am getting out of work headspace and just allowing myself to recharge. I think it's really important. I think we forget that it's very easy to burn out, especially if we've got kids and we work and we're juggling a lot of things. And for me, my main focus is to take care of myself so that I don't burn out, because me burning out is just not going to help me. It's not going to help my children. It's not going to help my clients. So I make sure I have a list of things that can help me. I also put things in the diary to look forward to. So once every kind of 3 months, I meet up with my girlfriends and we go for a lunch, and my mum will take the boys. And that's really important to me, to balance that and kind of put that in the diary. And then I'll make sure that I'm meeting my pals that have kids and my kids' friends, and we meet at the park, or we'll go to a soft play. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Or we will have something in the diary to look forward to. At the moment it's a wee bit early, but we're actually planning for Halloween and looking at Christmas, which you'll probably be like, oh my goodness, Emma, it's August. But as any mum knows, juggling these things is really important. Putting them in the diary, getting the tickets booked, because they always book out really quickly, and making sure that we have the stuff that we want for the kids to do. So it's really important as well to schedule things in the diary. So in the next couple of weeks, maybe the next month, I'll probably be booking Halloween parties. I will be buying Halloween costumes. I'll be booking Christmas parties. I'll be booking visits to Santa. So it's so important to schedule everything. Make sure everything's in the diary. And it might sound silly, but scheduling fun is actually sometimes all you can do, because if your friends are working mums and or your friends are full-time mums, it's about making sure that everybody's scheduled in so that you can meet each other and you can see each other. So yeah, I think we can have it all. I think it's difficult, and I think you need to juggle things, but having a career and having children and having a family is so important, or it is to me, and I really value that, and the way I do that is juggle. So yeah, you can have it all. Not easy, but it's about self-care and making sure that you have a balance. So I hope you like my video, and hopefully I will upload some more things soon. Take care.